now I want to touch on the Mad Lions versus Wisla game on Overpass. Now, considering it was 25-22, I don't want to go into OT because I think it will just really stretch out how long this stream will be. So I'm just going to focus in the comeback from 14-8 down. Now, one thing to consider too for Mad Lions is I wouldn't say pressure would be on them. But I think going into the semi-finals, they probably expected to play Sprout. Whether that meant they were doing more anti-striding to the Sprout side or not, I don't know. But for Mad Lions, like that's a disappointing loss. Yeah, they've got a new team. They just picked up a new in-game leader of Hooksy. They picked up a new rifler of Refresh, who's been absolutely crazy. I think he's got so much star potential. We saw that over in Fragsters. He's joined this Mad Lions side from being, thrown around a little bit. We saw him on Optic. We saw him on Copenhagen Flames. We've seen him most recently on Existence. Now he's gone back to Mad Lions, or over to Mad Lions, I should say, not back to. But he's got a lot of experienced players around him. You've got, obviously, a strong in-game leader of Hooksy. And then you've got some big, potential players. You've obviously got Akor, who's a ridiculous AWPer in the Danish scene, backed up by Shush, who's like this sort of up-and-coming youngster, and you've got Roy as well, who's really consistent. So you've got a lot of players in this team that do have a lot of star potential, and they're competing in Flashpoint, right? Let me have a look at what Mad Lions are competing in to go forward. So they face off against Na'Vi tomorrow in IM Beijing. In case the video is going to be late to being posted, which it probably will if I cut this down. We're currently 6th of November here, so they're facing off against Na'Vi tomorrow in IM Beijing. They're playing in Flashpoint too, so realistically for Mad Lions, their results should be better. There's no doubt about it. They came out to the Eliza Invitational, where they won a couple of best-of-1s and a best-of-3 against Harvu to qualify for Blast Showdown. So that was a big victory. That was just picking up their 2 newest players as well. Everything before that doesn't really count because the lineup had a bit of a big shift. But they've come into Betway 9-5-5, and they 2-1 ultimate attacks in a close quarterfinal game. They absolutely destroyed Existence, 16-1, 16-5. They played Overpass as well, which is a 16-5 them, where they looked really on point. And then they're going into the grand finals against Wisla. And Wisla are a team that don't have a lot of international experience. They don't play in the big events. They play in all your online Tier 2 cups. You have a look at what Wisla have played in the last few months. Let me try and see if I can bring that up. I'll have a look at the last year, actually, for Wisla. So they're playing in MDL, so that's kind of not top flight, it's not Pro League, but it's still top flight CS. They're playing in Legend Bet, League Cup, Home Sweet Homes, 9-5s, Loot Bets, a couple of open quals here or there, 5th to 6th in the Polish Championship for ESL, so the national championship there that sort of go on to your European Champions Cup and DreamHack qualifiers and things like that. So when you look at their results this year, they're not playing near DreamHacks, they're not playing near ESL 1s, they're not playing any Flashpoints, anything like that. So this has got to be a big upset for Wisla to be able to get a victory, and so it was. So let's go into Overpass. We saw that on this map, they were down 8-14, so even at a bigger deficit than what we saw from them in the semi-final against Sprout, and they've done it again. They've come back, they've taken it to OT. Round 23, that's where we're going to start from. Down 8-14. Things aren't looking great here for Wisla. They've had a pretty tough time going into their second half. We saw that over on the first, they won both pistols and they've only got 8 rounds. It's not a lot at all. At this point, even though I still predicted in the pregame to this on broadcast, I still predicted a 2-0 for Wisla. When I got into this position, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, this is done. Surely there's no way, right? Because even the last 2 rounds have been really convincing. Moneyline is in just absolute shatters. You're at 8-14 against Mad Lions. You won pistol, won the anti-eco, won the first gun round, you're up 3-0. Or if it was the anti-eco, they won the next. Whether it was just a gun round or was it just a Glock round, depending on what they bought in the second, I can't quite remember. So they've got off to 5-0 starts when you think of first half and second half combined. They won 2 gun rounds in the first half. They won gun round here. So overall, it hasn't been that great from Wisla, but this is where they started to put the pressure on. And I'll show you exactly why. Going into round 23, they've even got an MP9 up for Jedka. Sparrow's been able to save into an AK. Only one, well, an Incendiary and a Molotov, so really two players with mollies. For Mad Lions, they're looking really decent at this point. All leaning in on the T side to go over for a B side XE. They've taken short water control really early on. Great nade coming up from Mino, I believe it was, to do some big damage. There's another player too that's lining up an Incendiary towards a boost position. Mino too. Now, I actually remember this moment because the Observer caught it. So what happens here is Mad Lions just go for a really dry hit into B. Like, there's hardly any utility that comes out. A flash comes over the top. And as soon as Mino hears the footsteps and he hears some of the utility coming out, he just dry walks out, or wide swings out, I should say, into the short position and just catches two players from Mad Lions completely off guard. So he's able to get a couple of kills, down to 19 HP. He's able to try and fall back. Ponchek's trying to play around this barrel smoke. And from here, he's just trying to waste as much time, set up a bit of a crossfire, refresh with the bombs right in front of him. Great shutdown from Wisla, losing hardly any players. Two go down in the end, but it was just a great start from Mino. He's able to get a couple of kills, hold on to a couple of man advantages, fall back, and they just set crossfires up between one another. Now, Mad Lions go for attack here. Again, even losing that round and not getting a bomb plant, there's still a fair bit of money for them to work with, so they'll be able to buy into round 24, just no issues. But they're probably taking an attack, just saying, okay, we got shut down in the BXE, maybe let's run a default again, or if we're doing an XE, but we want to be doing this separately. Discussions like that. And Ponchek, someone that I highlighted over on Train, having a really rough time on Overpass 7 and 18, not having the best of performances. Let's have a look at the utility damage, actually. Yeah, a couple of players with none. Flash assist from Mino is crazy high at 25 in comparison to his teammates. So, great shutdown at the B-side XE. One thing, too, from Wisla is they didn't put down too much counter utility. It was more that they were playing off the util of Mad Lions on the site. So, smoke coming into the monster position for the city side. Mad Lions going in for maybe nade stack up towards a boost position. Yeah, I think that's where Jedka's playing from. So he wasn't close enough for the nades to do too much damage. Takes him down to 84, so does a little bit, but if anyone was playing boost, it probably would have died there for the double nade. Now, Mino's going for a really, really aggressive play, and he's hearing the footsteps too. So straight away, they know already this is working off information. Double nade stack came out from Monster. So they know that they were playing two outside of Monster straight away. Now, Mino's got aggressive, and he's hearing, what, 2, maybe 3 footsteps. So they're getting a lot of info that they're rotating off a B. Or maybe they're leaving a lurk, but they are pretty much disappearing from the B bomb side. So what that could allow is maybe an aggressive short water play. It could allow a gamble rotation towards the A bomb site. It could allow Mino to stay in con. It could allow him to get aggressive. It opens up so many opportunities for what Wisla could do in this situation. So we'll keep an eye on him. He's hearing these footsteps. He's going, yeah, they're rotating off a B. Oh, damn. Okay. That's actually pretty unlucky. So he actually decides to go for an aggressive play. And gets caught off. So Mad Lions now know, okay, they've now heard us rotating off a B, so now it's a bit of mind games here. Are we going back? Are we going forward? Now for Mino, if there was a chance maybe for him to stay in con and keep this aggression, then maybe he could have got a bit more info. Try to get a little bit greedy, gets up, Shush is waiting for the push, so they don't get away with any kind of advantage there. Mino just backs off straight away, goes, you know what, I'm out of here. So they tried something, didn't quite work. And now that Flash comes out from his teammate Ponchek, he's been able to get out to short water completely safe. Don't know what that smoke was. Maybe that was a missed monster one from the city side, potentially. Hades is able to get Orp Jewel out from long onto Hooksy, so great opening kill. They go back over to B. And this is a gamble rotation now coming up to the A bomb site. You've got Mino jumping towards APC Bank. You've got Hades on top of default. You've got Jedka playing bathrooms. And you've got Spiro playing bathrooms too, cross-firing. So Ponchek's a solo B at this point. Now, he's got a fair bit of nades. He's got smoke, flash, HE. But he's alone at B, so I wonder what the protocol is going to be here from Wisla. I mean, one thing, certainly when you're casting this on broadcast, because you're always checking different camera angles from the observer, it is sometimes enlightening to go back and watch a demo just to see how things panned out, because sometimes you don't always see from that perspective, and if there's action happening one way and you're only seeing that, sometimes you miss what's going on elsewhere on the map. So they haven't quite seen anything in the bathrooms. Sparrows decide to fall back. It looks like Mino wants to rotate, so they haven't quite seen anything. Podcheck's carrying a fair bit of this util, and he's just hiding. Does not need to peek this at all. This is a really smart decision coming out from him. In a situation like this, where you're in a 5-on-4, and he's a solo player at B, if he swings out, and let's just say he gets a 1-for-1 or he doesn't get anything, he's giving up the advantage. He's just completely losing it. So they already know that Mino's in a rotation or was on rotation. He's now got to the heaven position. Hades is on rotation too. Jedka's starting to move. So for Ponchek, all he needs to do is stay alive in this position. Hold on to the man advantage. He can give them complete site control. They can just play retake. They've got a fair bit amount of nades to be able to retake. So just holding on to the man advantage is really important. So not peeking out. He's got the AWP to try and follow. Ooh, does actually see refresh on the side of that smoke. So a bit of info goes the way of the CT side. They can maybe boost up. They've got a couple of players for left side or right side graffiti. Project's playing left side. And everyone's here from the CT side. So rotations have come in really, really quickly. Mino even low. Great duel for him to win onto Roy. Flash comes over the top. They all wide swing together. Great crossfires being set. Shush stays alive. And they actually bring this back. This was a 5-on-2 advantage for Wisla, so Madline's doing a really good job of being able to try and bring this back. Acor towards Pillar, looking underneath, but it's actually going to be Mino to secure the deal. So, a really good recovery there from Wisla. Again, 5-on-2 to go back into a 2-on-2. They just hold off, just bring it back. They recover double AWPs too. Pick up one from Acor and one from Hades. First timeout from Wisla. Now, it was kind of surprising, too, that we saw this over on Train, that once they were in a comeback where they were like a 10-15, that's where they used their first or second tacticals. So, it seems like they're a team that don't use tac pauses all too often. Mad Lions have already used 3 at this point. And we saw exactly what the double AWPs were able to do on Train against Sprout. And I'm pretty sure they find a lot of impact too, if I remember these last few rounds. Now, Mad Lions are in a position here, and I think we were talking about this on broadcast, whether it was this round, where money isn't great for the Mad Lions side. They're on 2,400. You're looking at round 25. They've got Shush on a lot of money. Acor's relatively low, Hooksy and Roy. So, like, you can still buy here. I remember what we were talking about. I think it was the miss buy. Now, we were both saying, Jay and I were having a bit of convo about this in the tac pause, that Shush probably should have bought an AWP over for Acor, and then Acor could have dropped back an AK to Shush. Because he's got 4,000, he can buy armor, he can buy an AK, chuck it over and get like a smoke or a flash or something like that, with $300 spare. Now, we thought that this was a bit of a miscommunication from Mad Lions, especially when Acor, yeah, he might not be having the best of games, but considering the money line, I think that they probably could have got a better buy than what they got. Because look at now what's happened for Mad Lions. You've got a Mac 10 on for refresh. Now, you couldn't help that. That was going to happen either way. But Acor's on a deagle because he wants 1,600. He wants to try and get the AWP. So he doesn't want to buy down completely. Shush has got a little bit of money too. But this round here, with Wisla having 3 players staying alive to get their 9th, 2 players staying alive to get their 10th, you'll realize that their economy might be a little bit shaky. So Jedka's on an MP9. This is a great chance to instantly reset the money line. Yeah, the buy is still pretty full with the double AWPs, but look how low the reserve is for this Wizard side. You got Sparrow on 1,500, Jedka Ponchek less than 100, Mino on 100, 650 up for Hades. with no loss bonus, this is instant reset. So for Mad Lions, I think this is a bit of a mistake. They could have completely force bought the issue here. Got an AWP out for A-Core, AK back for Shush, Mac 10 up for Refresh, and had some serious weaponry going into round 25. That's what I remember us talking about. Anyway. Fast play up towards short water to come out from the T side. Mino going, getting so caught off guard. Caught off with a nade there. I don't think he expected the P to come through. Roy overwhelms. What a sick entry from him too. Just insane kills. Jedka's just trying to fall back. This is instant save from Wisla. They're out of there. They do not want anything to do with this round. And for Roy, that was just a sick couple of kills. Wizard got caught off guard. First player of Mino with a nade out. And then Podcheck just gets wide swung upon from barrels. Roy gets 2 kills with the AK. Instant save round. And look, they make it work. They get their 15th. An individual steps up to make a big play. And Mad Lions convert their 15th. How quickly as well that instant reset came through from Wisla. Hades still being relatively aggressive rather than just falling back and holding onto his weapon. Trying to see if he can maybe find any more exits if they want to feed him. So 15-10, that was a good round for Mad Lions. Pretty simple, in all honesty, just taking short water control really easily. They catch Mino off guard, and then just wide swing comes out from Roy, opens up the bomb site, instant save comes out. It's a very, very simple 15 for Mad Lions. And now they only need 1 to convert. And you even look at the buy. I spoke about the instant reset potential in that last round. Even with 3 players staying alive for Wisla, they've still got double AWPs, 2 FAMAs, and an MP9. So again, buy a little bit shaky from Wisla. It's not the best of rifle rounds for them. Spiro going very aggressive for maybe an opening AWP pick towards Playground. He's got no support too. The nearest teammate he's got is Hades. Playing double AWPs around this aggressive A push. And Roy just trying to see if he can spot anything out. See if he can get a bit of a bait. Flash can come out here. What? I think I remember this round too. I just think that's a really poor way of taking long control. Like, when you know that you've got A-Core in Playground and you've actually got a teammate to support, why is he not setting himself up for a flash? Like, yeah, he's only got 1, but the flash is too late, mate. You pull the flash out after Sparrow's already got the pick. He's blind now. That needed to come in so much earlier, and they just dry walk out from long. He gets another opportunity against A-Core. Mino finds a pick over at B, pushing short water with a teammate of, who is that? Him and Ponchek, I think, aggressed short water. So I think poor control of trying to take long from the T side's perspective. And now it's a 2-man advantage up for Wisla. They've even rotated Mino to APC. Double long play coming out for the double AWPers, so they're in a little bit of an awkward position. Good shot coming out from A-Core. Mino towards the site. Needs a little bit of support. It's not really going to come. There's a first. Just trying to wait and bait as much time as possible. Doesn't find any more. A-Core's the last one left. I remember he almost brings this back. Like, turns it into a 1 versus 1. Oh, bang. What a shot. And then Jedka, I think, just gets the swing out. Ooh, close. Very, very close round from Wisla. And again, you have a look at the rounds that they're winning. Like, they're down to the wire. 3 players staying alive, 2. Like, we haven't really seen many convincing rounds. Now down to a 1 versus 1. Jedka just picking up all the util that he can try and find on the site. They find their 11th. And money is even more broken than what it was in the last round. They can only afford 1 AWP now. Mad Lions taking their last tactical pause. And I can imagine good old Peacemaker probably drilling into them at this point, sort of saying, guys, come on. Close it out. We only need 1. And considering how low the economy is, they still get away with an okay buy. Like, M4s are out for everyone. AWP follows for Hades. It was saved in from the last round. But it's the lack of utility that's the big one. You've got 2 sets of util up for Jedka and Ponchek, but outside of that, they got nothing. No util up for, well, they got a smoke for Spiro, nothing for Hades, nothing for Mino. So 11 of 15. Wisla won 3 out of the past 4, so building up a bit of momentum. Double play out from Party from Hades and Spiro. Mino holding the connector line so they don't have to focus on Con. B players are really passive too. They haven't taken short water control in the early round, which they previously have. Miss shot from Hades. Ooh, they leave Spiro here. I kind of like this play, actually. So Mino's clearing out a little bit of connector. They leave Spiro in a big off angle. Hades is backing him up for the swing. And Spiro just escapes. So a bit of an off angle coming out from the in-game leader. Finds a pick. He's got teammate support in connector from Mino, who hasn't seen anything. Hades is watching the cross here. So if there was a swing to come out this way, then maybe there isn't a chance for a trade potential. But if Refresh or Acor or one of these other 2 players were here, there could have been a chance that they swing and try and just get the trade back into a 4-4. So that's why Hades was holding the angle. And they fall back. They don't aggress even further. They found the opening pick. There's no real need for them to continue fighting. Hades is staying around in the bathrooms for a little bit here. Mino still hasn't seen anything towards connector. Now, I think he heard one of the footsteps at least. Yeah, he definitely did from Hooksy. Swing up. Another advantage. No trade comes out. Just playing off the info there. Great solo play from Mino. Connector's clear because, well, if there was anyone playing connector and Mino swings out top and gets a kill, there would have been someone to swing. So peeking towards lower and doesn't see anything, he doesn't really have to focus his attention towards bottom con because he's got the info that's pretty much clear now. Wow, what a shot from Refresh, though. So a great response for Mad Lions to at least try and make this round competitive and bring it back. Spiro's trying to go for an aggressive angle. Roy's just round the corner. Oh, man, how does he win that fight? What? He even gets 2 there. Wow, that was huge coming out from Spiro. And now for Acor, he's just got to save onto this AWP. Nothing he can do. Big play coming out from Spiro. Finding that opening kill, getting the opening man advantage. Re-aggresses even when Mad Lions are holding the angle. Finishes off with a 4K. That's such a massive round for Spiro. And now for Wisla, they're like, right, boys, here we go. We're back. We're back. We're back in this. 15-12. No bomb plant in the last round. Lots of players staying alive. No money for Mad Lions. Lost bonus starting to kick up now. 2,400 in the next. They're just going to Glock this round out. Single flash up for Roy. So not much of an investment at all, right? $200, that's it. Better damage done from the Flames. They've got Hades and Spiro to try and lock this down from bathrooms. Spiro puts down anti-rush, nade of an incendiary. They just keep swinging out from long. They're bringing up a rotation from Jedka. Mino's got short water control, hasn't seen anything out to B, but may hear the footsteps in connector, so you would have heard that from Roy. So maybe calling, there is a potential that they run down con to A, or to B, I should say. But good crossfire being set, gamble stack up to the B bomb site. Spiro peeks out, doesn't see anything towards bathrooms, run boost, gets caught off guard, really aggressive. Hades on the side, Jedka. I tell you what, that could have got pretty scary pretty quickly. The trades came out really quickly, but Wisla got caught off getting aggressive. They lose a couple of players, but they clean up in the end. Jedka finds a couple of kills. Hades sets up a good crossfire with the AWP and P250 towards the back of the default position. And now we're going into round 29. And even for Mad Lions, it's not a complete buy. They don't have that AWP up for Acor. Shush is going to be on a Galil. So it's not a massive amount of utility to be used here from the Mad Lions side. Divider smoke coming out from Hooksy to try and sell them on a bit of an A play. Now, ooh, actually, I want to go back to that because I remember seeing this on broadcast, but I don't remember how it happened. Whether Sparrow got flashed or just slow walked out from Monster, but he was able to get to the left side of Monster without being seen. So let's go back and have a look at that. So Molly goes down. Yeah, it's the run boost. This is something that I think more teams should do. God, what? More teams should do this because like it's a really sick play, and it's so unexpected too. If you go for a B-side XE or even just a slow walk out for monster that you've got someone playing on that left-hand side without it being smoke deep or without a lot of util coming through to give that idea up that someone could have crossed over. So run boost comes out from Spiro, and he's got info to say, well, they're not going into short water. There might be a player there already, which is where we can see Hooksy playing from short water because he got there earlier in the round. Mino goes for another solo play out from Connector, and the slow walk comes through. Spiro with the AWP, that's the first. 1-for-1 trade comes out. Then you've got Ponchak playing around Pillar. All the information comes through. Oh, good spray. Well, I wouldn't say good spray, a little bit sloppy, but it's still an important kill. Jedka's been able to get into barrels. Refresh just wide swings out from short water. They know where A-Core is. 1v3, pretty much everyone's at B now. Hades gets caught off guard with a little bit of util out. And they clean up the rounds. Nice play there from Spiro. He only got one pick, but he and the teammates of the B anchors were able to at least hold down the fort for long enough to bring the rotations out from the A players. And now for Mad Lions. They've got no money. We're looking at a situation here where no bomb plant in the last 3 rounds. They have to force buy here, obviously, round 30, but it's not looking great. They've got, what, 3 Mac-10s out for Roy, Refresh, and Hooksy, double Deagles for A-Core and Shush, so, yeah, this is not a great position to be in for Mad Lions. It's been a great recovery from Wisla. Fast play out from Refresh. This is super aggressive from him. Running out from short water. He only finds one. That was a big solo play. Maybe one where Hooksy was like, mate, I'll give you all the freedom to just do whatever you want. He finds a kill, so they trade 1-for-1. A players are pretty passive too from Wisla. One thing I have noticed on Train and on Overpass is actually played double AWPs. Rather than separating them on the sides, actually played them together a lot. So I would say most teams, or at least some teams, for Train, double AWPing, right, they would take like an AWP over to B as the anchor, and then have like an AWP and 3 riflers of M4s out towards outer. But Wisla have been playing double AWPs on the same site pretty regularly of Spiro and Hades, whether it's been on Overpass, whether it's been on Train. I don't remember seeing them on Inferno doing it. What maps did they play, actually, in the Grand Final? Let's bring that up pretty quickly. Nuke. Alright, Nuke, they didn't bring out double AWPs really at all. Mirage, I think we may have seen it a little bit, but Overpass was really the one map we saw it come out the most. So 1-for-1 trade already, 4-4. Hades with a pretty aggressive angle towards default boxes, decides to fall back. They're even rotating. How has this info come out? I'm not sure how this was just a bit of a gut feeling, but Jedka's now alone at B. They're going to bring Ponchak back, but it's going to be just a rush into the A bomb site. Good shot coming out from Hades with the orb. Looks in for a little bit more. Spiro's there to try and back him up. One thing, actually, I do want to mention is, I remember catching this on broadcast. Didn't quite see it there. Now, there was an M4 about here. On the site. You can see the AWP. Now, Spiro and Hades were double AWPing on A. Now, when the time goes low, Hades actually spots out that M4 and calls it over, because you can see him looking at it, and he's kind of like shaking his crosshair up and down, so he's obviously relaying the information. Spiro then picks up the rifle and drops the AWP, knowing that with the time low, they're probably going to go for a quick hit. I've got potential of picking up an M4 rather than running double AWPs at this kind of a close contact. So he picks up an M4 and he still gets a kill with it. So he does a really good job of being able to hold off. Rotations are so damn quickly. Ponchak's already here. Jedka's got a flash ready to try and support the players on the site. Flash comes through. A-Core's just completely blind. They swing on, and there it is. 15-15 up for the Wisla camp. Now, I do want to mention, we're not going to go into OT because we'll just be here all night. But one thing we certainly saw from Wisla in this comeback is it wasn't convincing, right? It wasn't like they were absolutely slapping their competition. They were winning rounds with 4 players staying alive. They were really down to the wire. But I think that they didn't crack under pressure. I thought their trading was really good. The double ups really stepped up when it counted from Sparrow and Hades. They were taking map control away in the mid-rounds really nicely, and they were making a lot of solo plays. Certainly on CT side, what we've seen from them is they give a lot of freedom for aggressive plays. Mino, we saw out on Train, was getting into Ivy, getting into SL, into T-Con. We saw over on Overpass, he was making aggressive plays towards the back end of Connector, in towards Short Water. So for Wisla, it seems like they give their players a lot of freedom on the CT side. It doesn't seem like it's too much of a structured approach, a much more looser sort of style of Counter-Strike. Pretty individual for the most part in the mid-rounds, but look, really nicely done from Wisla. Big congratulations for them to be able to get their first victory of the year. Hey everyone, I just want to say a massive thanks for all the support on that last video, both in YouTube and on Twitter. It has been much appreciated to hear that you guys are loving the content. So I thought, what better way to be able to release some more? So part 2 being uploaded today. I'm hoping into getting into a bit of an upload schedule for a Wednesday upload and a Saturday upload. I think the best time to probably upload is about 5 PM GMT, so I'm going to be aiming for that every single week from now on. But if you do want to get involved in watching the live content, you can check out twitch.tv/Dweg to be able to actually catch the live stream in action before it gets edited down and put up onto YouTube. In case you're wondering about how the schedule is working out this week for me, not only in the demo reviews, but other things as well. Tomorrow, I'm going to be casting IEM Beijing Heroic versus North, which would be an absolute banger. Then going over for a live stream to follow 2 CIS demos live on broadcast, which is very exciting on the personal channel. Friday, I'm going to be doing a pub quiz with Epic Land on the personal stream, and then Saturday is going to be another upload for YouTube. So once again, massive thanks for all of the support, and I'll catch you in the next video.